5, 4, 3, 2.
Please rise.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with Resolution 2-12, in the form of Scott Stilson, Nickel Drive, live stream tonight's meeting. The board met immediately before tonight's meeting for an executive session to discuss potential legal matters.
Okay, now we're on to a special recognition. The board would recognize the following individuals who provided extraordinary service to the community. Frank Verdella, Ida and Anna Stolpies. We've got Henry Zawada and Steve Bursley. So, board members will step forward, and first we'll start off with Frank. Here's the down front and center. Okay. Okay. Do we take pictures or?
Oh, yeah.
Picture time.
Picture time.
Yes. Next we have, might want to read it. Oh, yeah, read it to you and then add back. Okay. Certificate of Appreciation awarded to Frank Verdella for your dedication to the betterment of Honeybrook Township for serving on the Zoning Hearing Board for 11 years. The citizens of Honeybrook Township have benefited from your efforts, and the Board of Supervisors would like to acknowledge this and extend their appreciation for your time and service to the community. Given this 11th day of December 2019, thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Get in here.
Okay.
Just shift over to that direction. Yeah, there we go. All right. 1, 2, 3. One more for good luck. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you.
All right.
It really has been a pleasure being able to serve the community, and the community has been very helpful with its feedback and everything else that is zoning board. And I know that I will be missed.
Oh.
Come on now!
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's tough when the leader leaves.
It is.
Okay, so in order, I think we have, so Steve's not here tonight. Would you want to read this one?
Yeah, so Steve Fersler, who's very active in our community Cub Scouts, and the certificate reads, the Honeybrook Township Board of Supervisors recognizes your dedication and exemplary citizenship. For 15 years, you have assisted the community by leading the Boy Scouts and led their participation in the Veterans Day ceremony for the last 8 years. It is with great appreciation that we do recognize his contribution. And he also goes around the township and cleans up the roads with the Boy Scouts and really countless other things.
Did. As he had a previous engagement, he's working with the Scouts tonight.
Yes, he's doing a scout meeting.
Okay. All right, next thing. So a certificate of appreciation is awarded to Henry Zawada. Honeybrook Township Board of Supervisors recognizes your dedication and exemplary citizenship. You acted responsibly to raise awareness of the potential dangers of showing concern for your neighbors and community. It is with great appreciation that we recognize your contribution. Picture time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 4. 1, 2, 3.
Good. Thanks. And one more. You agree? Okay.
Up next, we have Mr. Ryan Stoltzfus. His wife Anna is not here with us tonight, but we want to thank him for his dedication in our community. And anybody that's in Honeybrook knows what he's done for Honeybrook, right? Because you have stable people. I know that you help children in school, and you help people pay their rent, and have clothes and food and everything. He's very generous for our community.
Good opportunity to say thank you.
Yeah.
Picture time.
Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Thank you.
And for what we just presented, if you go to YouTube, you can see the recording that's under Honeybrook Fresh Air. So you can watch that when you get home. All right, go ahead.
Our consent agenda, motion to approve the entire consent agenda.
We'll make a motion to approve.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The department reports. Don Johnson, Public Works.
I don't have too much tonight. We only been out a few times on some very minor little ice event things, and this morning was one of them. We've got some dead trees that are in the right of way that we're going to be working on to try to remove yet, if the weather cooperates over the next, I'd say, 2 to 3 weeks. And got the leaves pretty much under control out of the ditches and stuff where they're usually a problem, and water's running. So that's about all I have for now.
Thank you. Christie.
The Honeybrook Community Partnership canceled their meeting yesterday morning, but currently voting is in progress for the best decorated door, business, and yard in the Honeybrook area, and continues through the 18th. Look for ballot boxes around town, or you can visit hbpartnership.org to vote. Winners will be announced on the 19th. And a reminder that partnership meetings have moved to the second Wednesday of the month at noon, beginning in January. On the topic of contests, State Senator Katie Muth is holding a decorating contest as well. You can send your address, municipality, and acknowledgement to use a photo of your home on their social media page to events44@pasenate.com. Names and addresses will not be shared on social media, just the municipality. The schedule for the Honeybrook Food Pantry was adjusted for December due to the timing of Christmas this year. Typically, it's the second and fourth Wednesdays, but the fourth Wednesday is Christmas, so they moved it to the first and third. And the holiday distribution will be this coming Saturday. Every child will receive at least one new toy. And Ken Ross, who is the pantry director, tells me that over 800 people were served in November, which is a 15% increase over last year, so the need is still great. And 21 new families were among those 800 people. 94 children are being served through the local elementary school backpack program. And a couple of encouraging pieces of news. The employment support program is gaining momentum with more participants, job leads, and successful employment placements each month, such that over 30% of those served at the pantry do get gainful employment in the year's time. So that's wonderful. Also, in partnership with United Way and Legal Aid, the pantry's volunteer team prepared and submitted 177 successful property tax appeals, netting an average of $1,000 in savings per year for each client, which if you're struggling to feed your family, that's a significant amount of money. Not surprisingly, the food pantry was named the United Way Agency of the Year for 2019-2020. The Western Chester County Chamber of Commerce is having a business card exchange at the Suburban Brewing Company right here in the borough of Honeybrook tomorrow, 4:30 to 6:30. It is free to attend, but registration is requested. They will be collecting household items for veterans, and the list is on the chamber website. The other item of chamber news is that they are adding a second scholarship this year. They've had an academic scholarship for the past several years, but they're adding one for trades. Local educators and businesses had identified the need to develop a workforce pipeline customized to the needs of trade employers. So the trade scholarship will assist students attending a vocational technical school, pursuing a trade degree or certificate in an industry including, but not limited to, construction, industrial, motor power, mechanics, and technology. As soon as those scholarship forms are available, of course, we'll post them on our website. I received word from the Pennsylvania State Association of Township Supervisors, otherwise known as PSATs, that both of my workshop proposals were accepted, so I will be presenting two this year. One of them is called Addressing the Unaddressable with Louisa Winberg out of the Chester County 911 GIS department. The other one is Establish Street Cred with GPS database management. So that's some stuff I learned just by happenstance on how to fix GPS when it's broken. The PSATS conference materials just arrived in the mail, so let me know before close business on the 13th of January if you're interested or in attending, and I will be sure to register you.
They're gonna put you on the end of the agenda again.
Huh?
Are they gonna put you on the end of the agenda?
Well, you know what, I asked to not be there. I asked to be the Monday
Yeah.
morning and afternoon,
Yeah.
back to back if possible. I don't want to have to drive up 2 days in a row. So, lastly, and this is literally hot off the presses, just tonight we received news that effective tomorrow, there will be a 211 system in place for the Chester County emergency services, providing information for those experiencing homelessness. It's a 24/7 service. You can call 211, or you can also text your zip code to 898-211. So that's a brand new service that is being offered just starting tomorrow. So, and that's all I have.
Steve Francis.
Yeah, I think we all noticed the great influx of our first responders here. For a minute, we thought they were all called away to an event somewhere, but it's glad that you came here, and I'm sure they were here to support the board's bold step in reorganizing the real estate taxes. And you can see up on the screen, item 2 on the agenda is a motion to adopt or not adopt a resolution that sets forth the 2020 real estate tax rates. General purpose is going from 0.98 down to 0.7, and the reason for that is the contributions to fire and ambulance are being removed from what used to be under that general purpose. And then fire is going to be at 0.5 mils and ambulance at 0.15 mils. What it's going to do is for both of those services, they will be getting larger contributions. Well, I shouldn't say that. The contribution for the fire company is going to be exactly the same. What they're going to be getting is there will be a pot of money held here by the township that will be growing annually, that when they need a new piece of equipment in the future, there's going to be some money sitting here for them. And they'll just need to come to the township and tell the supervisors what they need, what they need it for, and the board can take a look and see what's available in the kitty and get together from there. And that's something they haven't had. And I figure that that's going to grow about $75,000 annually will be put into that fund for future equipment purchases. So that is something new for them. And then ambulance is going to get a higher annual contribution, and it'll be there forever. And of course, all these things are tied to the millage rate. And if assessments go up in the township, so will the amount of money that comes in off of all of those. The assessments have been fairly steady over the last few years, but at some point, I believe they're going to start going up again. So have that little built-in escalator. So I don't know if anybody from the company wants to speak. I'll relinquish my time to somebody from out in the audience, no?
We appreciate what you're doing, but that's about all we have for a statement.
Yeah, so, I don't know if you guys know me, but I'm Jake Bailey, Fire Chief on the fire company. And like Al just said, we just want to reach out and thank you guys for the effort that you put forward to help support us. Everything's growing, we all know that, the economy doesn't slow down just for a little volunteer firehouse in Honeybrook. So fire trucks are getting more expensive, equipment's getting more expensive, so the help that you guys are giving us is substantial for us to keep growing in the future and be able to provide the best service that we possibly can for the citizens of Honeybrook Township and Honeybrook Borough, because that's why we're here. We're here to be able to support the community and uphold our standings with, protecting life and property. And we want to try to have the best equipment that we possibly can to keep the citizens safe and to keep our firemen safe as well. They're also citizens of the borough and the township. So again, thank you, and the effort that you guys have done for us has been noticed, and we're very grateful for it.
Yeah, the board, made this decision because I know you're a very important organization out there that's struggling. Fortunately, you're not struggling to get volunteers. You have good numbers at tonight's meeting.
Yeah.
And that is great.
We're actually very blessed with the amount of volunteers we have. We're probably the most staffed with active personnel in Chester County. The other night the other day we had an incident on, what was that? Cambridge Road, and we had over 30 volunteers there, and it was middle of the day. So there's fire companies out there that can't have 3 guys in a fire, or an accident or whatever. So we're very blessed to have the support that we do, with the members of the community and things like that. It's amazing to see the guys that come out and help. So, and we're always accepting membership. So if anybody wants to come down and help, we have open doors. Anybody that wants to stop in and see what goes on at the firehouse, it's a public place. We welcome everybody with open arms and show you what goes on and the equipment that we use and what we do and things like that. That's was my goal coming in as a young guy, as fire chief. I wanted to open everything up to the community. I don't like the whole closed door policy, because we're here to serve you guys. So there's no reason that you can't come in the firehouse at any time when someone's there and see what goes on. We have nothing to hide, and we want you guys to come down. We want everybody to come down and see what goes on.
Yeah, now the board wanted the entire community to understand why this change is being made. And they're, the citizens' tax bill, the residents' tax bill is going to look different when it comes out. It's going to show 3 grades on and 1 is 4. And so they sent a letter out to the community. Did anybody here get their letter yet? Because I know they were just mailed out.
On Friday.
They were mailed out on Friday, so they should be coming to doors sometime soon, I hope. If you haven't got it, you should get it shortly. The board put together a very nice letter. It was probably most of 2 sides of the page explaining the change, what it was for, and it was to support the fire company and the ambulance. That's what it was, everything was all about, and talk a little bit about your need and about the board's responsibility for helping you meet that. So we thank you very much.
Absolutely.
You guys want to say anything?
Well, I guess, I know the funding is what you need, and we also have an open door to come in, discuss what your needs are, and we'll try to do everything we can to support you.
Yeah, absolutely. The relationship that we have with you guys in the borough is very good, and that's what we want to keep that relationship going strong. And because we all have to work together for the common goal, and that's for the citizens of Honeybrook Township. So, again, we thank you guys for all you've done.
Thank you.
John, I'd like to compliment them on their appearance tonight. The dress uniforms really sharp. I've never seen them in that uniform before. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Steve?
I don't think that I can follow it up with anything more than that.
Okay.
Land Preservation Committee, anybody?
Yes. Okay.
Chip's back there.
I'm here. Land Preservation Committee, I met yesterday and approved a approval of 7 farms at 335 acres. So the resolution is to go to the supervisors for approval for purchase of easement of the 7 farms.
Yeah, and Chip, that's on tonight's agenda. It's item 3 on the agenda, and that is to approve those parcels that the committee recommended at their meeting yesterday. So that's in front of the board for tonight.
The total estimated cost to the township is $830,000. Over 5 years, that's approximately $166,000 per year. That works out to about $2,500 an acre. We do have leverage funds from the county at approximately 45 to 50% of the total. That means that the county will kick in the remainder that the township is paying for those easements. Our next meeting is the 21st of January at 8 o'clock. It's our reorganization meeting. And immediately following that is the farmer's breakfast at 9 o'clock. So everybody is invited to attend the farmer's breakfast.
Thank you.
All right, your recreation park? Anybody here?
Yeah, I will be reporting for them tonight. I don't have any totals for what was raised for the food bank this year, but we will need a new coordinator for the garden this year, responsible for ordering and picking up plants and communicating with volunteers. And the season generally runs from March to October. The other piece of news is that the dates for camp are set. It will be a shorter season this year due to the timing of July 4th. The half-day summer camp will be running 7th to 9th, 14th to 16th, 21st to 23rd, and 28th to 30th. So be looking for registration forms in the spring. And their next meeting will be in January, but they do have a Park and Rec comp meeting coming up this coming Monday, is that correct?
No, I'll fill in there. That's all right. I'll fill in the meeting. There was a special meeting, a public meeting on the 21st of November. And that was a public meeting to have people come in and take a look at the proposed new master plan for James Humboldt Park. We had a good turnout. Chip was one of the people that was there. Probably 20, 30 people at the meeting. They got to see the new proposals that the consultant and the Recreation and Park Board had put together. And got some good comments from the crowd. And so the consultants are going back and tweaking the master plan. And they're actually going to be meeting with the Parks and Recreation Board next Monday night to further that process by talking about cost estimates as well as possible phasing, because all the work's not going to be able to be done at once. It's just too expensive. So it's going to be cut into different pieces, and they're going to be talking about how to do that this Monday night. This past Monday night, the Recreation and Park Board is the majority of the study committee, but we also have some other business people, school districts, people from the library and so forth on the study committee for the comprehensive recreation park and open space plan. Met with the consultant on Monday, and it took the first look at, the first discussion about goals, recommendations, and implementation process. So that, there was some good discussion there. The consultant's going to go back and work on that, and they'll probably get together again. The study committee will probably get together again in January or early February. So those are the recent and coming meetings.
All right. Planning. Anybody here?
There are members, I think Bob might be the only one here tonight, Bob Planning Commission. But there was no meeting in November, and there is no meeting in December because of
All right, motion to approve, not approve 2020 budget for all funds.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt, but not adopt the resolution to set the 2020 real estate tax rate.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion to approve, not approve recommendations of the Land Preservation Committee, reserve 11 new parcels at the estimated cost of the township of $829,669.50 over a 5-year period of time.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I have a question.
Yes.
We had talked about using some of the land preservation funds for our township park.
That's already in the estimated budget that they looked at for next year. With all of these parcels, that money that we discussed taking out of the fund is still estimated to, at the end of the year, after the expenses for the parcels and the park, expected to be at 2.8 million.
So we're okay.
So we're great, and Chip will agree with that. The committee's talked about this, and everything looks good.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
This question on the spreadsheet that we've been maintaining, is that still the treasurer doing that, or is it?
Well, it's a combination of Chip doing a lot of the work, and then he has our bookkeeper, right, fill in some blanks, and between the two of them, we come up with a good report. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Motion to adopt and not adopt resolution to establish fees and charges effective January 1st, 2020.
Mr. Chairman.
Motion to change the fee schedule, sure.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt and not adopt resolution to establish financial securities deposit requirement for all land development projects.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adopt and not adopt resolution to establish confidential rates for township employees.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve, not approve the payments of all invoices prepared by the treasurer.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to appoint and not appoint Elaine or Marina Marie, 6210 Main Street, Honeybrook, to a 3-year term to the Honeybrook Township Community Library Board of Trustees beginning January 1st, 2020, and ending December 31st, 2022.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve and not approve the following financial security releases recommended by Technology.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
One site I'd like to interject at the moment. Just one of the items on your list tonight, recommendations you'll see is Village Green Phase 3.
Yeah.
You will notice that that is the same recommendation that was presented at last month's meeting that the board decided to withhold on at that point, based on some comments that we had in the audience. And I just wanted the board, I did go up and follow up on that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've honestly never had a recommendation denied at a board meeting. So I just wanted to maybe just bring some of this to your attention. There's some photos for you. We're taking a day after the board meeting. And as you can see, there's 12 trees that are noted on there that obviously appear to be planted using normal accepted landscaping procedures, mulch, the right size caliper, the right species, and so forth. We also followed up with the landscaper and obtained a letter from him, the president of the landscaping company, attesting to using accepted landscaping methods and practices. And obviously, I just wanted to pass that along to the supervisors because, again, the recommendation is the same as it was last month, and we did go back and confirm that just to follow up on those comments that were made at the last meeting. We've also met with the Homeowners Association representatives from Village Green, and we discussed this particular issue with them and showed that information to them as well. And I believe some of the plantings that they were talking about were not the ones in question with the recommendation.
Yeah, they had a confusion about what
There were
the
some
call
other
rate.
plantings that were done that were not secured by the township that they were referring to.
Yes.
So I just wanted to bring that to light with the supervisors just because of
Yeah.
the issue came up
the motion to approve A, B, C, and E, or?
No, a recommendation would be for approval on all.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so motion.
So that goes from A to G.
Oh, we got to flip to the next page, yes.
Yes.
Okay, G.
Don't forget the coffins.
Oh, yes, okay. Well, I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Ooh. Under new business.
Yeah. The other thing I would.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what I wanted to bring up for the COG starting in 2020, and the COG is the Council of Government, so we have the Western Chester County Council of Government, we have 13 municipalities participating in that. What I've been doing is working with some other municipalities throughout Chester County to get their interest in creating other COGs throughout the county. That was something that I discussed with the Chester County Commissioners, and that's something that they would like to pursue. One of the municipalities I attended, Euclid Township, had people talking to me as I was leaving, pulled me aside and said, "Thank you, that's exactly what we need. We're glad that you're introducing that." So that's something that the COG is offering this year. And also the EMS, we just have to make sure that we have participation for the borough and for the township EMS coordinator participating in the regional EMS. So that's important that we keep that initiative going through 2020. All right.
And I just have one announcement to make. From my email at 4:25 this afternoon, I learned that the township received a grant award from the county under the Vision Partnership Program. It was for the application by Honeybrook Township in cooperation with West Brandywine Township to perform a feasibility study for a pedestrian trail that would go from Horseshoe Pike near the Lutheran Church down to Isedale Lake in West Brandywine. And the county's portion of the project is going to be $16,450. That's the amount of the grant. The township's portion of the project will be $4,800, and West Brandywine Township, which really only has a very small portion of this overall project, will be $4,000. So it was great news. Just reached out to everybody and told them we had this, and probably start working on it in March.
I think that's pretty exciting. We'll have a trail in that.
Well, this is
I mean,
going to
if
tell
it
us
works.
whether or not we can make it work.
If
That's
it
exactly
works.
right.
But there's already a lot of work put into it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Steve.
Yeah. So, good stuff.
Where does that trail start, Steve?
At the Lutheran Church
Oh, okay.
of God there,
Yeah, okay.
Horseshoe Pike, and would go,
Through the borough? To go through the?
no.
The other direction.
No, it goes behind the mobile home parks,
Yeah.
behind Heatherwood, behind the mobile home parks, down to Isedale Lake.
Okay.
It's along the abandoned
Got it,
railway.
okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of it's gonna be along the railway, some through some undesignated easement that exists. And we're gonna have to find a way around a couple of residences that are down there. But it's a very, doable project, it looks like, and this is gonna help us take it to the next step.
A lot of it would follow, what is it, the east or west branch is bringing one there?
Yeah.
So that'd be a nice, I mean, if that works out, it'd be a very nice trail.
Right.
Old business. Open forum. Anybody to the right? Anybody to the left? All right, make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
All right, December 12th is Planning Commission, canceled, nothing on the agenda. So move to the next one. Monday, December 16th, Parks Board, Master Project Plan Project. January 6, 2020, Board of Supervisors reorg meeting as a Monday, because we meet on the first Monday of the year. The 16th of January, the Recreation and Parks Board, including Trails Committee, January 21st. We have the Land Preservation Committee, 8 a.m., and 9 o'clock will be the breakfast, and presentations. 21st of January, oh, there it is, the Farmer's Breakfast, and finally, January 23rd, Planning Commission. All right, thank you, everyone.
What is the program going to be for the farmer's breakfast?
We don't know yet.
We have to check, it's some indication.
It's going to be,
Who cares, the food's great.
there's a new survey that was done about best practices farming.
That's what he's calling it.
Do you guys want to